The 4:44 visitor, why you should never wake up at that time. For most of my life, I never thought much about the time I woke up. Whether it was 2 a.m. for a late night snack or 6:30 a.m. to get ready for work, it never mattered. That changed last Thursday when I woke up at exactly 4:44 a.m. to a knock on my bedroom window. I live on the 3rd floor. I remember the sound distinctly, 3 slow, deliberate taps against the glass. I thought it was just part of a dream at first. But when I sat up, groggy and disoriented, and looked toward the window, I saw the silhouette. Not a shadow, not a bird, not a tree branch swaying in the wind. A figure. Tall. Lean. Almost too tall. It stood perfectly still, face pressed against the glass. But here's the thing, I don't have a balcony. And I don't live near any trees tall enough to support something like that. I didn't move. I barely breathed. The figure just stared through the window with pitch black eyes and a mouth that was slightly too wide. Like it had been stitched into a grin against its will. Its hands were long, bony fingers that ended in pointed, disjointed nails. They tapped once more. And then it was gone. I told myself I imagined it. That it was sleep paralysis, or a dream I didn't fully wake from. Until I saw the smudges. Handprints. On the outside of the glass. The next morning, I went online and posted about what happened. It felt cathartic. I didn't expect anyone to reply seriously. But one message stood out. A private DM from someone with a username just made of numbers, 444 Watcher. The message read. You saw him. You woke up at the wrong time. You've been marked. Follow the rules or you won't survive the week. Attached were these rules. 1. Never look directly at the window at 4:44 a.m. If you do, don't blink. He mimics what you do. Blink, and you're letting him in. 2. Do not turn off all the lights after 4:30 a.m. One must remain on until sunrise. Total darkness invites him. 3. If your phone starts ringing at 4:44 a.m., don't answer it. It will sound like your voice. That's not you. 4. You will hear knocking again. From different parts of your home. Ignore it. Responding gives him permission. 5. Do not speak his name. You don't know it yet, but if it comes to you in a dream, forget it immediately. Speaking it out loud brings him closer. 6. If you see your own reflection smiling when you're not, destroy the mirror. That's the final warning. 7. And whatever you do, never acknowledge the third version of yourself. There should only be 2, the one in your head, and the one in the mirror. If you see a third, you've already lost. At first, I laughed. It felt like some elaborate creepypasta, or maybe someone trolling me after reading my post. But that night, I made the mistake of sleeping without a nightlight. At 4:44 a.m., every light in my apartment shut off. Not like a power outage, just gone. One by one. I heard the click of every bulb extinguishing in rapid succession. Then, the knocking started again. First the window. Then the closet. Then behind my bathroom mirror. I didn't move. I recited the rules in my head. I refused to look at anything with a reflection. Not the phone screen, not the TV, not even the microwave door. The knocking turned to scratching. Then whispers. I covered my ears. When the sun came up, everything stopped. The lights flickered back on. Nothing was broken. Nothing was moved. But my phone had a missed call. 4:44 a.m. From me. It's been 5 days now. Every night, the visitations get worse. He's learning. Getting bolder. I've seen flashes of my own face watching me from windows I never looked at. I caught myself talking in my sleep, whispering a name I don't recognize but feel intimately familiar with. And this morning, the mirror didn't reflect me brushing my teeth. It just stared. I'm writing this to warn you. Not for likes. Not for karma. Because if you ever wake up at exactly 4:44 a.m., it means he's watching you too. And if you're still not convinced, go ahead. Look in the mirror tomorrow morning. And see if it blinks. I did. This morning, right after I posted the warning, I walked into the bathroom. Sunlight spilled through the slats of the blinds, illuminating the tiled floor with thin lines of gold. It should have felt safe. But as I looked into the mirror, the reflection wasn't quite right. My hair was off, parted to the wrong side. My shirt had a stain that I knew wasn't there. And then it blinked. I didn't. That was when I knew the rules weren't just precautions, they were a countdown. It didn't stop at the mirror. All day, things felt misaligned. I caught my reflection turning corners before I did. My own face smiled at strangers when I wasn't smiling. In every glass surface, from car windows to store doors, I saw myself, but wrong. And worst of all, it was watching. Constantly. No matter how fast I turned, it was already looking. At 4:44 p.m., I saw something new. A subtle, shimmering ripple across my phone screen. Like heat haze, but it formed into my face again, grinning like it knew something I didn't. I threw the phone against the wall, shattering it, but the image lingered for just a second more before vanishing. I decided to leave the apartment. Maybe run. Maybe just be around people. But outside didn't help. Every face I passed looked vaguely familiar. A little too familiar. One man had my eyes. A woman walked past me with my hands. Even a child on a tricycle turned and laughed, and I swear to God it was my voice. I returned home before sunset. I turned on every light, every screen. I covered the mirrors. I taped blackout paper over every reflective surface. I sat in the living room, clutching a flashlight, watching the seconds tick by. 4:30 a.m. came faster than I thought. Then 4:40. My heartbeat was loud in my ears, my breath shallow. I repeated the rules under my breath. Do not look out the window. Do not answer the call. Do not speak the name. But then the power went out. Not with a flicker. Not with a pop. Just silence. Total, complete darkness swallowed the room. My flashlight, new batteries and all, flickered and died. I reached for my phone, but I remembered I'd smashed it. That's when I heard the first knock. Not on the window. On the inside of the mirror-covered bathroom door. The knock was slow. Then it came again, louder. A third time, this time with nails dragging down the wood like claws. I held my breath. And then came the whisper. You already know my name. I did. Somewhere deep in my mind, the syllables floated to the surface. I could feel them forming on my tongue, just on the edge of being spoken. It wasn't English. It wasn't even human. It was wet and wrong and burned the back of my throat just for thinking it. I backed away from the door, trembling, when I heard another knock, this time from the living room window. I turned away instinctively, remembering the rule. But then I heard another knock, from the closet. Then from behind the kitchen cabinet. All at once. He was everywhere. And then, silence. The kind that makes your ears ring. I turned around slowly. And saw myself standing in the hallway. Except it wasn't me. Its skin was pale and stretched too tight over the bones. The mouth was wider now, permanently fixed into a grotesque smile that revealed rows of needle-sharp teeth. The eyes were bottomless pits, sucking in what little light was left in the room. It tilted its head, mimicking the way I had earlier when I checked the front door. Then it stepped forward. For every step it took, I felt something inside me slip. My knees buckled. My vision doubled. It was like it wasn't just walking toward me, it was entering me. Taking pieces. My memories. My feelings. I watched helplessly as it extended its hand and pressed a single bony finger against my chest. The pressure was unbearable. And then I was falling. I woke up screaming on the floor of the bathroom. The sun was up. The power was back. Every light I had turned on the night before was still on. But everything felt wrong. My phone was fixed. Fully intact. No cracks. The time read 4:44 a.m. But the date? The date was yesterday. I'm stuck. I've relived this day twice now. Each time, he gets closer. Each time, the reflection lasts longer. This isn't haunting. This is replacement. He's not trying to scare me. He's trying to be me. So here's the update to the rules. Add these to the list. 8. If time resets and everything seems fine, don't trust it. The loop means he's close to taking over. 9. Destroy anything that shows your face. Even photos. They're portals. 10. If you feel something staring from inside you, it is. I don't know how many more loops I have left. I don't know if I'm still entirely myself anymore. But if you're reading this, if this post shows up again tomorrow, then I failed. And I'm not the one who posted it. Don't trust reflections. And if you ever wake up at 4:44 a.m., don't look at the window. Even if it calls your name. Especially then. The third time I woke up at 4:44 a.m., it didn't start with a knock. It started with silence so thick it felt like a presence. No hum of the refrigerator. No cars outside. Not even the wind. Just that oppressive, soul-deep quiet. The kind that presses into your chest like a weight. The kind that suggests you're not alone, even when you think you are. I stayed in bed. Covered the clock. I repeated the rules over and over in my head, like a prayer. Don't look at the window. Don't say the name. Don't open the door. But then I heard something worse than any knock. I heard my voice, from the hallway. Hey! It's okay. It's just me. I think something's wrong. Come out. It sounded tired. Shaky. Almost perfectly like me, but not quite. Like someone wearing my voice like a mask. The air turned icy cold. I pulled the blanket tighter around me, heart racing. Then the voice said something else. You left the door unlocked again. I hadn't. I knew I hadn't. I triple-checked. That's when I heard the doorknob turn, slowly. Softly. Followed by a creak. A long, slow creak. The bedroom door opened an inch. And then stopped. I stayed frozen. Didn't move. Didn't breathe. Something stood on the other side of the door. Watching. Waiting. I felt it. I knew it. And then I made my mistake. I blinked. In that blink, the door was wide open. The hallway stretched longer than it should have. The walls bent slightly, like the house was breathing. Shadows stretched along the floor like long fingers. And at the very end of the hall, something stepped forward. It was wearing my face, but now it was twitching. Smiling too wide. The eyes had no whites, just swirling darkness. And it moved in a broken, unnatural way, like each joint had too many directions it could turn. I screamed. But no sound came out. That's when the mirrors began cracking. One by one. Not shattering, just long, slow fractures spreading like veins across the glass. Every reflective surface I had tried to cover before, the phone screen, the blacked out windows, even the darkened TV, they all began showing me. Dozens of me. All of them wrong. Some crying. Some laughing. Some just staring with that dead, empty grin. I turned to run, but the house wasn't my house anymore. The hallway looped, stretched. Doors led to more doors. Rooms bled into each other like melted wax. Every time I opened a door, I ended up in the same place again, the bedroom. At 4:44. The clock never moved. No matter how long I ran. Eventually, I heard the sound again. Footsteps, this time, heavy and wet. Followed by dragging. A sound like flesh slapping against linoleum. I hid in the closet, curling into the darkest corner I could find. I held my breath. My ears rang with silence. And then, it spoke. But not in my voice. Not in any human voice. It sounded like hundreds of voices speaking at once, some shrieking, some sobbing, others just whispering, chanting. A rhythm that made my skin crawl. You let me in. You let me be. You gave me a name. I didn't mean to. I swear I didn't say the name. But maybe I thought it. Maybe I dreamed it. Maybe thinking is enough for him. When I woke up again, if I even did, I was in my bed. 4:43 a.m. 1 minute before. I stared at the ceiling, sweating, heart pounding. But I couldn't move. Sleep paralysis. Or something worse. The room was so quiet again. And then, in my peripheral vision, the door opened. I couldn't scream. I couldn't move. I could only listen. Soft footsteps padded closer. Breath, hot and wet, on my cheek. And then, in a voice so close it could have been inside my head. Don't worry. I'll take good care of your skin. Everything went black. I don't know what's real anymore. I don't know if I ever woke up. I don't know if these words are mine, or his. But I'm posting them anyway. Just in case. Rules to survive, revised. 1. Never wake up at 4:44 a.m. 2. If you do, never speak. Not a single word. 3. Do not look into any mirrors. Not even a glance. 4. Do not answer knocks, no matter where they come from. 5. If you see yourself outside your house, lock every door. It's already too late. 6. If your reflection smiles first, run. But not outside. 7. Do not say the name. Do not even think it. 8. If the clock resets to 4:44 a.m. more than once, you're already inside the loop. It knows. 9. If it calls your name, ignore it. Even if it sounds like your mother. Or yourself. 10. And if you ever wake up and see yourself sleeping in bed, leave the house. Leave everything. Burn it if you have to. You're the reflection now. If you're reading this, and it's 4:44 where you are, don't look at the window. He's always watching for someone new to wear.